So now that I have everyone's attention, we're just going to go ahead and get straight into this video, because I'm pretty sure if you are seeing this video right now, it either just came out, or you might be wondering what's going on, or I might have linked you to it, because this is a question that has been asked quite a bit. But some people might be asking, where are the modding videos? Where are these certain types of videos? And I'm going to be explaining that right here. Now, if anybody has followed the channel for the past, I don't know, year or two, something like that, I'm currently uploading this July of 2016, I've kind of slowed down on the modding type videos. I used to do a lot of videos with the Xbox 360 modding scene, and for various different reasons, you know, just the scene slowing down, kind of loss of interest in there, nothing really that I wanted to cover, for example, and just me changing up my type of content and interests on here. I've been covering less of that, but I've been still doing some modding type videos here and there. However, some people might have also noticed that there's been a lot of other videos pertaining to modding and relating to all that have been taken off the channel, and you cannot view them. And with that, I'm going to explain what's been going on, but I have to backtrack a little bit. So this is what happened. On June 8th of 2016, I ended up getting my first ever community guideline strike, and it was for the removal of 3 videos, 2 of them relating to the Gateway 3DS Flash Cart, and 1 of them relating to the Sky 3DS Flash Cart. One of them was how to set up a Sky 3DS, the other 2 were how to set up Gateway 3DS on a 3DS with version 9.2 or below, and the other one was the same thing except for firmware version 4.5 or below. All 3 of these videos were removed, and they claimed to have been, there were different claims. They said that they were community guideline strikes, they were removed for violating YouTube's terms of use or terms of service, and that they were allegedly removed for inappropriate content. Those 3 videos got removed, and they equated to me getting 1 community guideline strike. If you don't know what a community guideline strike is, it is a, as they say, warning, and it's really not a warning, but it is a penalty that they put on your account, and it restricts you. Some of my restrictions included I was not able to upload videos longer than 15 minutes, I was not able to live stream, I was not able to, for example, if I got a content ID check and then I ended up trying to appeal that and it got rejected, I could no longer push that any further. I couldn't link out to any type of external sites with annotations. There are a few things like that. Now, some people might be wondering what was going on because I was still uploading long videos, and I'm going to get to that here in a bit, but I'm trying to get directly to the question right here. In short, I waited 2 days, so on June 10th, I ended up appealing it. I let my network know, I let my partner manager know, and I let YouTube support know, and I didn't hear anything about this. Then I was just thinking, okay, fine, it's gonna be there, it's stuck in limbo, and my network curse said that they could not push it until it was 30 days past due, so it was, you know, still there for 30 days and just stuck as appealed. What happened was I was going to say, okay, let me just wait this out for the next 6 months, so that meant December 8th it would have expired, because all strikes will expire after 6 months. Well, what ended up happening was 3 weeks later, on June 29th, I ended up receiving a second community guideline strike. This one I did not make a video about, but this led to the removal of 1 video, which was how to downgrade your 3DS using Gateway 3DS. Again, another video relating to flash carts. So at this point, I went in and I ended up removing all of my Gateway 3DS and Sky 3DS videos that were available, except for the ones that were taken down, because if that stuff is still there, and by the way, tip to anyone, if you have a strike, do not delete the video. If you are appealing it, if you have a strike or anything, do not delete the video off your account. Yes, you can't access it. Yes, it's stuck there. Do not delete it, or else that will cause trouble. But I just didn't take down those videos, but it didn't matter because nobody could view them. Again, this kind of shifted between some things. It said it was removed for inappropriate content. It said it was removed for violating community guidelines, and it also said that it was removed for violating terms of service on YouTube. Now, I got emails for these as well, and then this one said something a little bit different. The one I got for this one said, and I quote, "This is the second strike applied to your account within 6 months. As a result, you're unable to post new content to YouTube for 2 weeks. If there are no further issues, the ability to upload will be automatically restored after this 2-week period. However, it's important to understand that if you receive a third strike within 6 months, we'll terminate your account, rendering it permanently inaccessible." So at that point, I kind of thought about it, and I even thought about it for like about 2 weeks, right? Because I immediately ended up appealing this one, and within 48 hours, I ended up getting this email. "Dear Mr. Mario 2011, thank you for submitting your video appeal to YouTube. After further review of the content, we've determined that your video does violate community community guidelines and have upheld our original decision. We appreciate your understanding. Sincerely, the YouTube team. As you can see, all I know is that it violates community guidelines for inappropriate content. I had no idea what anything else like that meant. So what happened was I decided to delve a little bit further. When I was talking with the YouTube support people, I told them that they got back to me, this got rejected, and then they asked if they would like me to escalate it, and I said, please escalate it. What happened was they talked to one of their legal specialists, and they got back with me, and they said that this violated their terms of use, which was stuff about the circumvention of technological measures, which is in effect on YouTube. Now I'm going to explain what that is. And I quote here, when we say circumvention of technological measures, we're referring to tools that allow users to evade a software's licensing protocol. This can mean serial numbers, keygens, passwords, and other methods to hack software or games. What is the difference between CTM and copyright? CTM is a tool that will give users the means to access software. Copyright is concerned with the depiction of the software or the means to acquire it. If the software's interface is in the video or there is a download link to the software in the video or video description, you may wish to file a copyright takedown notice. A CTM claim is appropriate when the infringed material isn't present in the video or directly linked to, but the video offers a way for users to access it illegitimately. Now we are finally getting somewhere. And you all might be complaining and saying, Mario, you haven't shut up for the past few minutes. Well, you know what? I've been talking for the past few minutes about this, but it took me weeks to figure this out, so shut your mouth. And that's a whole other thing, because it shouldn't have taken me weeks to figure this out right here. But you can see with that last clause that I read about the CTM claim, that specifically talks about many of the things that I had on this channel at one point. So for example, when I had a video like, let's say, how to flash an Xbox 360 drive, yes, I didn't show any of the games on there. I didn't say, hey, this is where you can download games, this is where you could pirate them. In fact, as you all know, I take a neutral stance on that, and I'm actually kind of, well, I guess not so neutral, but against piracy on here. I believe in the ability to unlock your system, and I think that if you can flash over a custom firmware to your system or any type of device, you should be able to do that. Unfortunately, then, I know that that leads to piracy. However, that's why I also don't promote it, and I even gets to the point where if people link to, you know, piracy websites or anything of the sort, I remove and block them because I don't want that in the channel either. So there's a lot of things I don't directly link to, and that kind of pertains to this right here. A CTM claim is appropriate when the infringed material isn't present in the video or directly linked to, but the video offers a way for users to access it illegitimately. So going back to that example, I didn't show any games on there, I didn't show any unauthorized copies, and I did not link as to where you could get any, nor did I promote it. However, flashing your drive still allows you to play unauthorized copies on a closed source system. And this is the issue that we were running into with that type of content. So then I really had to think about it, and I made a really tough decision, you all. I made a really tough decision with this. It took me about 2 weeks, and I remember I sat down one day and I went through and I pieced through any videos I could find that I felt like violated this measure right here, and I took them offline, so therefore they would not be available to the public. So for example, there are a few videos where, let's say it's just this video. This can stay up, I think this video is fine. A video that shows how to flash an Xbox 360 DVD drive, that video went down. A video talking about what a flash DVD drive is, even though technically that's okay because that's just informative right there, that's still a video that I had taken down for the time being, because at that point I had 2 strikes and I didn't have a second opportunity. My second opportunity was a termination of this channel. Another thing they also lovingly added on to the information with my second strike was at one point after it got rejected, I got a thing that was tacked on there that said video content restrictions. I'm gonna quote this right here. We don't allow content that encourages illegal activities or incites users to violate YouTube's guidelines. The only depictions of such activities that we may allow need to be educational or documentary in nature and shouldn't be designed to help or encourage others to imitate them. Now see, that right there is another thing, because some people might try and say, oh, it's educational, oh, it's fair use. Well, yes, I do agree with that. I'm educating people and I believe I'm doing it within fair use. However, not only CTM is a guideline that they have on YouTube which you cannot violate, but in addition to that as well too, the depictions I was showing were going out and teaching people so people would go out and imitate them and be able to do that on their own systems, which again is something that they do not allow right here. So therefore, that is why I took those other videos off, to really, you know, make sure that nothing else would happen on the channel for the time being. The good news is about this, what ended up happening on July 19th, I ended up getting an email that said, Dear Mr. Mario 2011, thank you for submitting your video appeal to YouTube. After further review, we've determined that your video doesn't violate our community guidelines. Your video has been reinstated and your account is in good standing. Now, that later part, the good standing part, I read over that like 5 times and I'm like, wait a minute. What? I still have 2 strikes on the channel. I went back and sure enough, all 4 of the videos that were strucken down were brought back and they were public again, and my channel was in good standing. But what I did was all 4 of those problematic videos I immediately took offline again to prevent this from happening. Now, some people might be saying, oh, well, it's probably Nintendo going after you on this. And here's the thing with a community guideline strike. A community guideline strike is anonymous, and you're dealing with YouTube on there. A copyright strike, mind you, is something that I would be able to see the entity it is from. So at that point, I don't know who filed the strikes. I really don't know at that point, or who flagged down the videos. All I know is that they are back up, they are available, you know, well, at least the strikes are off, but I have not made them available to the public, so they're not going to get struck down. No one can view them. So because of that, a lot of people are going to be wondering again, where are the videos? Why aren't they posted? Well, it's because, you know, I'm still going to deal with modifications, but honestly, some stuff like that, for example, like if I'm modding a controller, like if I'm changing the LED in here or something, I can show that, but when it comes to straight up circumvention, for example, you know, jailbreaking a PS3, flashing Xbox 360 DVD drive, setting up a flash card for a gateway 3DS of some kind, I can't show that on here, unfortunately. And it's just one of those things, you know, yes, those videos have been up for a few years, but they finally got taken down, and honestly, I'm surprised it took me this long to get a strike, but I guess you don't really earn your YouTube wings until you get a strike, right? Is that how it works? I think that's how it works. Now, some people might also be saying, oh, Mario, you're being really selfish taking down all those videos. I'm being selfish. I spent all the time learning how to do that stuff, spent all the money getting the hardware I'd need, spent all my processing power and everything on here, editing the video, rendering it out, and uploading it, and then, you know, I was at this point, dude, I'm actually losing out on those. I'm not getting views off them. I've lost the views that were public on them before, and because they're not getting views, I'm not able to get any money off the ads that's run on there because nobody is going to be watching them. So no, I'm actually not being selfish. If anything, I'm kind of castrating the channel a little bit by taking those videos offline. And I'll just say this for tutorials and all that, in short, just because you watch a 5-minute tutorial does not mean it took me 5 minutes to make that tutorial, or it took me 5 minutes to learn that skill, so keep that in mind. So that's the unfortunate thing going forward. You know, I've taken down most of my straight up modding videos like that because I won't be able to show them on here, and I don't want to deal with this again. I really don't want to. Now, yes, I could do, for example, I think it was mostly kind of a Nintendo thing right there, but then I thought about it and I'm like, well, technically I have stuff on Sony platforms, I have stuff on Microsoft platforms, and that all falls under that CTM restriction, so those are equally viable to get flagged down as well too. And that's a straight up fact right there. Like, for example, let's say I have a video showing how to install a mod chip on the Sega Saturn, which I did at one point. Let's say I have that video. Do you think Sega really cares about a old system, a 20-year-old system at that point getting modified? No, absolutely they don't. They don't care about that system at all. The problem is, technically, it still falls under that guideline. So listen, my final thoughts on here, well, I do have more thoughts, but I'm going to be making a follow-up video to this, which is going to be a straight up rant about the community guideline strike system, because I'm going to share my full experience on there. I'm going to talk about why I believe it is so broken and why it is important to talk about on that, and just my disagreements on there. But really with this, I'll say I can kind of rest easy knowing that I feel like most of those older tutorials, people got the information they needed out of them. There are some videos, for example, my ARM9 loader hacks install videos, my custom firmware for the 3DS install videos. The 3DS videos, people have been asking about those a bunch. No, I'm not going to give you a private link to them. I'm not going to let you view them or anything, but I don't know, if somebody has an idea to put those out, let me know. Something that's not YouTube. Maybe, I don't know if Dailymotion is okay with content like that or not, because I will say, some of those videos, for example, the ARM9 loader hacks video is terribly outdated. Some of those are outdated, so it's kind of good I took them offline, but I also feel like those are pretty good reference tutorials, and I feel like that there is good information in those tutorials, and other people have been asking me about them regardless of what it might be. So people, drop down your ideas below in the comment section, and maybe I'll think of some way to distribute them that is not on YouTube, but they're not gonna be back on here. And really going forward with making any type of modding content, it's not like I'm never ever going to do it, and if you're at the end of the video, thank you, and if all you wanted was the modding content and you want to unsubscribe, I understand. I'm not going to hold that against you. I understand, and you're free to unsubscribe on that, but I just wanted to put this out here and explain why. Because I didn't want to talk about this until all this blew over, and thankfully, it blew over a lot earlier than I thought it would. And dude, I'm going to say this, I'm not happy about it at all. Like, I'm really not. I mean, this has been such a big ordeal. It's been stressful. There's been so much time I've wasted on this that I could have spent making videos, editing videos, uploading stuff, and, you know, I wasn't able to, unfortunately. So, yeah, whatever. Let's just put that behind us and we'll see what's going on. And final thought on this, going forward as well, too, I just want to say, you know, the past videos that I've done within the past year or two, I've really slowed down on the modding type stuff, as I've mentioned. So that hasn't been the forefront and focus of the channel for quite some time. So that's kind of been the nice thing about having a diversified channel. And remember, I am still probably going to come back to some of that stuff, but if it's a straight up, you know, circumvention method, let's say like another jailbreak or hardcore modification like that, you're probably not going to see it on here. So if that's what you're expecting and that's what you want from that subscription, I would recommend unsubscribing. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all. If you understand, thank you for understanding. And if you don't understand, dude, there's no saving you at this point, man. There's no saving you. I explained everything right here, okay? Oh, and before anyone says, oh, well, this person uploaded this, this person uploaded this, I don't know how. Like, yes, I'm not going to debate with you on that. Yes, other people upload similar content. I don't know how they're still around. But I will pose this question to you. When I say a big YouTuber, I'm talking about someone with over 100,000 subscribers. How often do you see someone who has those types of hardware-based or software-based tutorials that I was making for the systems and everything and showing those exploits? How often do you see YouTubers like that that are over 100,000 subscribers? Most likely you probably don't. I can think of one that I've seen. Anyways, signing off for real this time. Later, everyone.